Hey everybody, this is June the 18th, 2025, and I have a message. I've been doing a lot of prayer and meditation lately because of all the uncertainty that's going on in the world, okay? Especially with what's going on right now with Israel and Iran, and we don't really know what's going to happen. So everybody needs to be in heart-centered meditation and prayer globally, the whole world, because this thing could blow up in our faces overnight. But anyway, as the 3D world passes away, everybody on the planet should be seeing the destruction of their 3D world on some level. Okay? Now, some people are going to be experiencing it more than others. If you are spiritually awakened, in other words, you have the awareness of the spirit realm, you're going to see more destruction in your life as you continue to raise your consciousness level, which helps raise the consciousness level of the whole planet. Okay? But everybody should be seeing some destruction in their life right now. And this destruction is going to continue and get worse and worsen until the planetary shift is taking place into the fifth dimension. In other words, until the planet has been transformed and the transition has been made, okay? Now, when I say transform, I'm talking about the people on the planet and everything else, too. It's going to be transformed in order to make the transition. Now, let me start out and break it down. Let's start with the physical sickness, okay? Your physical body is going to go through some type of destruction, okay? The destruction that's happening on the planet is being carried out with the energy weapons, okay? The government is using the energy weapons to destroy everything, not just to hit us and make us physically sick, but to destroy everything inside our homes, outside our homes, and to destroy every aspect of our lives, okay? That's what's happening. But let's break it down and start out with the physical symptoms. Everybody on the planet should be having some of these symptoms. Let me widen my screen right quick. Some of these symptoms on this list, now this is not all the symptoms, but this is all I could get on the list. But everybody on the planet should be having some of these symptoms. Some people may just be having one or two symptoms. Some people may be having more. But everybody should be having these symptoms. And you say, why? Well, because if you have electricity inside your home, you're going to be having some of these symptoms because the whole electrical grid has been weaponized. And they're using it to attack the people. Okay, maybe, let me leave it up here for a few more minutes. Maybe you have cancer. Maybe you've had a stroke. Maybe you've had a heart attack. Maybe you have kidney disease. Maybe you have COPD. Or maybe you have some of the other symptoms on this list. Maybe you have, like me, maybe you have constant sinusitis and sinus infections and bronchitis and pneumonia and earaches and burning mouth and pain in the body. Let me just call them off. Headaches. I have so many headaches. I'll get over a headache, do good for a couple of days, and it'll come back. You know, so energy weapons are going to hit your head. You're going to have headaches, dizziness, you may have nausea. You may have sinusitis because they hit you. If they hit you in the face, now if they hit you in the face, not only can they give you sinusitis or sinus infection, but they can burn your eyes. They can burn your mouth. I know I just got over a burning mouth syndrome. I did a video about how to heal that. And then after I healed my mouth, then they started hitting my throat. They'll hit your throat. They can beam your throat and give you a sore throat like you've never had and that you have never had in your life. I have had some of the worst sore throats that I have ever had. I never thought a sore throat could get this bad. But if they hit you in your throat, they can hit you anywhere and cause pain in your body. Maybe you're having back pain. Maybe you're having shoulder pain. Or maybe you're having pain in your hip or your kidneys or your knees or your feet. Wherever you're having pain, that's where they're hitting you with the energy weapons. You have to take steps to shield the area where they're hitting you. Shield the area where you're having pain. Okay, if they hit you in the chest, they can give you a heart attack. If you start having pain in your chest, you need to get up, put something over your chest, cover your chest with some bubble foil, find something to put over your chest. Same way with your back. You have to learn how to protect yourself from these weapons, folks. These weapons are brutal. They don't care. They have no mercy whatsoever. And they have burned my eyes before to where I had these real red patches under my eyes, raw patches under my eyes, and then my eyes would be like caked over with this like film, like a kind of like a pussy film, you know, but it kind of blurs your vision. You can't see good. So you have to learn how to protect your eyes. You put something over your eyes at night and keep Vaseline in your eyes at night. This will help. Cough and sore throat, I just talked about that. Shortness of breath. If you have shortness of breath, they're hitting your diaphragm right here. If you wake up with shortness of breath like I did back in 2020, I knew they were hitting my diaphragm. How did I know? Because I had a pain right here where my diaphragm is. I covered my diaphragm with bubble foil and it started getting better. Okay. Also, if they hit you in the back, you can also have shortness of breath if they hit you in the back. Fatigue, flu-like symptoms. If you have the flu-like symptoms, that's most likely going to be related to the radiation poison inside your home. Because these frequencies, when they fill your home, they generate a toxic radiation that will make you sick, and you'll come down with what feels like flu. Bronchitis, pneumonia. I just got over bronchitis. Cold hands and feet. You may have a numbness too. You may have your arm. You might be laying in bed and all of a sudden your arm just fall asleep. That's the energy weapons hitting your arms. Same with your feet. If you start having pain in your feet, they're hitting your feet. You're going to have to make you some kind of protective shielding shoes to wear over your feet at night, so they won't hit your feet. If they hit your feet long enough, they can cause blood clots to go up your legs and into your heart and kill you. You have to know the signs. You have to be aware of what they're doing. If you don't know what's happening to you, they can kill you real fast. Okay, numbness, hands and feet, tremors. You may have tremors or Parkinson's disease if they start hitting the central nervous system. If they hit the back of your neck where your brain stem is, they can hit the central nervous system and cause all kind of problems. Body tingling. You may have body tingling. Your arms may start tingling. Feel like the circulation's been cut off. That's from the energy weapons hitting your arms. You may have a body rash. If you get a body rash or you start itching all over, that's another sign of the directed energy weapons hitting your body. Don't lay there. If you start having itching or a tingling on your body, get up and move. Move from your location. And then put shielding over your body. Memory loss, confusion. If they hit your brain, if they hit your head with these weapons, they can cause dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss. They can even cause a brain tumor, or they can cause a brain aneurysm. I've got 2 neighbors right now with brain aneurysm. They've already had 2 surgeries. They're not getting any better. Why? Because they lay up in their bed and the energy weapons are hitting their head all night long. And they don't know it, okay? I tried to warn them about it, but they don't believe me. So I've done all I can do to help them. Cognitive dysfunction. You might feel like you just woke up stupid one morning. You might feel like you just can't function, or you can't figure things out anymore, or you can't remember, where you put this or what. And they can make you make mistakes. They can make you make big mistakes, folks, especially at work. I've had that happen. If they hit your brain while you're at work, they can cause you to make big mistakes. That could cost you. Energy rushing through the head. Yeah, you're gonna have all kind of. If you have the V2K, you're gonna have the energy rushing through the head. You're gonna have all the sounds in your head. Like that could be. For me, I had all kind of screaming sounds and snorting sounds and scraping sounds and crashing sounds in my head, and felt like energy just crashing through my skull all the time. It was awful. It was terrible. The pain was off the charts. Tingling sensation, itching, scalp crawling, itching skin, prickling, heart attacks. Once again, if you start having chest pain, get up and move. Do not lay there and let them hit your chest. Get up and move from your location. Put something over your chest to protect your heart. Panic attacks and anxiety. This is part of when they start hitting your nervous system. You start going into a panic. You might start having anxiety and panic attacks. Heart palpitations, chest pains, pulse rates, pain in the body anywhere. Any pain you're having in your body anywhere, it's the energy weapons hitting your body. Ringing in the ears, that's part of the V2K. High-pitched tones, the hearing loss. Acid reflux, if you're having any acid reflux, they're hitting you. They're most likely hitting you in the throat or the chest. You need to put some protection over your throat and your chest. Rushing sounds, sleep interruptions, ears burning, infections, ears. Ears is one of the main targets. They love to hit your ears because there's implants inside the ears. And this is how they keep the V2K going. That's the ears. You can keep castor oil in your ears. You can wear the castor oil, the cotton ball soaked in castor oil. You can wear them as earplugs, and this will help deactivate the nanotechnology in the ears. Drumming, itching ears, voices in the head, eye twitching, eye pain, blurry vision. I talked about that, the nightmares. Seizures, you can have seizures. You can have a stroke. If you lay in the bed long enough and these weapons hit you, they can cause you to have a stroke and cause one whole side of your body to be paralyzed. Give you a stroke in 2 seconds flat. Brain damage, brain aneurysms, cancer. The cancer, if you have the nanotechnology that's built up in your body, and these frequencies, they hit you with the frequencies, with these high frequencies, these frequencies are going to activate the nanotechnology in your body, okay? And this can cause all kind of pain inside your body. If you have the nanotechnology everywhere, all over your body, and the frequencies hit you, you may start having pain all over your body. You're going to run to the doctor. They're going to x-ray you, and they're going to tell you got cancer all over your body. But actually, it's the nanotechnology that's been activated in the body. So if you've had a cancer diagnosis, you can start doing the detox baths right now and start removing the nanotechnology from your body, and maybe you'll get better. Maybe you'll remove the cancer, which is really the nanotechnology. COPD, like I said, if you can't breathe, they're hitting your chest or hitting your diaphragm. Kidney disease, dry mouth and tooth loss. I've been going through the dry mouth and the tooth loss for a while now. There's really not a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, I've done everything I can to cover my mouth and to stop them from getting in my mouth, but they still seem to get in my mouth, and I still wake up with a dry mouth, and they're still taking out my teeth. So I don't know what I'm going to do about my teeth. I just don't know yet. Okay, I'm still working on that. But anyway, that's the physical symptoms. And like I said, that's not all of them. You can have other symptoms that are not on this list. So I didn't have room for all of them. But you should be having some of these symptoms right now. Everybody should be having some of these symptoms. If you're not having any of these symptoms, just hang tight, because you will. Because as the destruction on the planet continues, like I said, as the 3D world continues to pass away, we're going to start seeing more destruction. And for those people who may not be seeing that much destruction right now, they will be. They're going to be seeing it. They're going to be seeing it in their physical bodies. They're going to be seeing it in their homes. And they're going to be seeing it outside their homes. Now let's talk about the destruction inside the homes. Let's start out with the electricity, what they're doing to electricity when they pulse the frequencies through the smart meters, and it goes through our electrical wiring. It comes out inside our house. It will burn up all your electronics inside your house. Maybe you've had some of your electronics burn up. Maybe your microwaves burn up. Maybe your toaster. Maybe your TV. Maybe your dryer. Any kind of electrical outlet can burn up when they pulse these high frequencies through electrical wiring. Okay. Any of your appliances and any of your electronics can be burned up by these pulses that they're pulsing through our electrical system. Okay? And not only will they burn up everything in your house, and you might see some of your electrical outlets catch on fire. I had 2 of mine catch on fire when they was pulsing mine. I had 2 electrical outlets catch on fire, and I had 1 breaker box catch on fire. So that's when I started turning off my power, when I realized what was happening. But the radiation that's generated in the house with these high frequencies, this is toxic radiation. This will make you sick. You'll have flu-like symptoms. You might have bronchitis. You might have pneumonia. It can kill you. Okay? That's the electrical. Now let's talk about the plumbing. I don't know anybody that's not having plumbing problems right now. Everybody I know, family members, friends, neighbors, everywhere. And y'all know about my plumbing problems. I've already talked about my plumbing problems and what I'm doing about it. I have to just give up, okay? The energy weapons can hit your plumbing. They can cause your the pipes under your kitchen sink to leak. They can cause your pipes on your bathroom sink to leak. They can cause your bathtub to leak. They can cause your kitchen sink to be backed up. You may get it unbacked. You may get it unstopped, and it might back up again. Your toilet won't fill up. Your toilet may not fill up with water, and it won't flush. You may have to add water to the tank manually in order to get your toilet to flush. Your bathtub may back up. Your hot water heater may burn up and go out, or it may start leaking. And you get the plumber out there to fix it, and within 2 months it's leaking again. Over and over and over. The wash machine won't spin. Plumbing problems are off the charts. Even outside, the underground pipes outside are breaking and leaking. Okay. The lady that I'm sitting with right now, her grandson, both of her grandsons, have been over at her house working all week outside on these water pipes that are leaking outside, and they have dug up their whole front yard. They're trying to fix this leak, and they haven't got it yet. And they've been working all week, and I feel so bad for these kids. These are teenagers. They're trying to fix it for their grandparents. But these people, not only do they have plumbing problems outside under the ground, but they also have 2 toilets that will not flush. One of them runs constantly, and you can put all new parts in it, and it still runs constantly. Another one is just like mine. It won't fill up with water. It only goes like half full of water, and then it stops, and the toilet won't flush. And so we have to pour water in the tank to get it to flush. They hadn't figured out how to fix that yet. They put in a new toilet in one of them, but it's still doing the same thing. So these people, and these are people, they're not family members. This is people that I sit with, that I help take care of. And this is the problems they're having, okay? I see this everywhere I go. Everybody's having plumbing problems. It's crazy. And it will drive you absolutely off up the wall when you've just had the plumber come out and fix everything, and now here it is 2 weeks later and everything's breaking again. It's like constant destruction over and over and over and over. It's unbelievable. Okay? So, we talk about the electrical problems, how they burn everything up in your house. We talk about the plumbing problems. Now let's talk about outside, what they do outside to your automobiles. You may wake up and you got a dead battery in your car. I've been through this so many times I can't count. The energy weapons will connect to your battery and they'll drain all of the energy out of your battery overnight. You wake up and you'll be dead. I woke up with 2 flat tires in my car. I had 2 coils go out pretty much one right after another at the same time. These energy weapons can hit your vehicle and they can tear up everything on your car. They can make your windshield wipers, they can take the fuses out, knock the fuses out. They can, they get under the hood, and they can get under your hood and do anything they want to tear up your automobile. They'll tear up your lawnmower. My lawnmower is parked right now because it stayed in the shop more than I actually used it. I had so much trouble with my lawnmower. First, it started out with a dead battery, just like in my car, and then I started having the belt started falling off, and I'd buy a new belt and put it on, and it'd fall off again. And then the little thing that held the belt on, the brace that held the belt on, it fell off, and I ran over it with the lawnmower and broke it and bent it all to pieces. And then the deck got bent. And then I can't even remember everything that happened to it. But it stayed in the shop constantly, and I wasn't able to use it. So I just parked it. I'm not using my lawnmower anymore. They'll do this to your four-wheeler. They'll drain the battery in your four-wheeler. They'll flatten the tires. They'll mess with the engine. They'll tear up your tractor if you've got any kind of farm equipment in your yard. They'll mess with your tractor. They'll drain the battery in it. They'll drain the fluids. They'll drain all the fluids out of your. That's another thing that happened to mine. They punctured a hole in the radiator and drained all the antifreeze out of my radiator. Drained out all the brake fluid. They can do this, folks. They can do this. This is what they're doing. So the destruction is everywhere, inside and outside. Also, they will kill your trees. I know all the trees on the west side of my property all died. All along that one side, all my trees died because that is where my night camera caught the drone or the UFO in the sky. And so I'm pretty sure that the weapon that they're using against me is coming from that drone or that satellite in the sky that's on that side of my house, and it also killed all my trees. So I had to get a tree service out here and cut down a bunch of dead trees. It cost me over $2,000. Always something. Plus they'll kill your grass. They'll burn your grass up. And I've just noticed, this has happened twice already since they put up these fiber optic internet cables. Now, I don't have internet, and I told them I don't want them cables because I don't want the internet. But they said, well, we got to put them up anyway. We got to put them up for the neighbors. So they got fiber optic internet cables running through my yard. And then I heard something the other day. I heard some kind of explosion. And I thought it was at my neighbor's house because it sounded like it came down from that direction. But I heard a popping sound, and then I heard an explosion, and then the whole air was filled with this, what smelled like electrical wires burning. And it scared me at first. I thought it was coming from my electrical box. And after I checked everything out, I realized it wasn't coming from my house. But then the next day, the technicians were out here working on the fiber optic cable. And while they were working on it, I don't know what they did, but some of that electrical smell got released in the air, and I could smell it again. So now I know where that smell is coming from. It's coming from these fiber optic cables. Something's hitting these cables, and I got a pretty good idea what it is. And if it's the energy weapons that's hitting these fiber optic cables and causing them to burn out or whatever they're doing, it's going to continue. It's going to continue because the energy weapons are not going away. So I'm probably going to be seeing a lot of these technicians out here. But anyway, and by the way, that cable feeds the internet to my neighbor across the street. It runs through my yard, but it feeds my neighbor's internet. Feeds into my neighbor's internet. Anyway, the destruction is going to continue. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So everybody needs to know this, because the people who don't know about the shift that's taking place, the people who don't know about it, they're not going to know. They're not going to know what's happening. Like these people who are experiencing all these plumbing problems and all these electrical problems and all of this sickness and disease, they think this is just stuff that's just happening. It's not. It's all perfectly planned to attack you, to make you sick, and to kill you, okay? But the people who are experiencing all this, they don't know what's happening. And for most of them, you can't tell them because they won't believe you. But for the people who know, about the energy weapon, and for the people who know what's happening, it's going to be a lot easier for you to cope because you know what's happening, okay? You know that the planet, the 3D world is being destroyed. You know it. You know we're making the shift into higher levels of consciousness, and we're making the shift into the 5th dimension. You know this, okay? And if you know this, then it'll be easier for you to cope. If you don't know it, you're going to just stay stressed out and down and out all the time. You're going to be frantic trying to fix things and trying to maintain your life. You're going to wear yourself out trying to maintain your 3D life, and it's going to be impossible to do because all you're going to see is a continuation of destruction on every aspect of your life. That's happening, folks. It's happening right now. Prepare yourself. Stay heart-centered. Make your connection with God. Stay in your safe place. And know that you'll be safe as long as you're connected with God. And don't get so stressed out over what you're losing, okay? Because it's going to go. You can't take it with you. If you stay on the planet and make the shift into 5D, you can't take the 3D world with you. It has to go away. It has to crumble and it has to fall away. That's what we're seeing right now. So that's all, folks. That's all I wanted to say. I'm just trying to help people to be prepared for what to expect. Be prepared for things to get worse instead of better, okay? And like I said, I really thought that this year, 2025, was going to be our year of Jubilee for the targeted individuals. But after what I've been seeing now, I don't really think that I don't think it's going to get better for us until everything's been destroyed, until we actually make that shift and that transition into 5D. I could be wrong, and I pray I am. But we're going to have to be strong, folks. We're going to have to keep the awareness of what's happening and know what's happening. And this will help us cope if we know that there's something better on the horizon. There's a better world coming. So much better than this one. This is the darkness. We're moving out of the darkness and into the light. That's the best way I can put it. I love you guys.